This is Epic Groupcast. I'm Anthony. I'm joined today by Jeremy. Jeremy, how are you today?
Okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
I guess that's okay to be.
I forgot to check my fantasy football team this morning. I forgot to switch my tight end. So
crap.
Man. The one guy I left in got 0 points. The guy I left on the bench got 24 points. So that's a little upsetting.
Yeah. You got any money riding on it?
No.
Well, who cares?
Is your fantasy football team named Pete Top, Kevin Bottom?
Nope.
Man. Okay, also today I am joined by Lawrence. How are you today, Lawrence?
I am full O turkey today.
Full O turkey.
Yep.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about movie franchise known to most as Star Wars. We're going to talk about that. We had to take a few weeks off. I don't know if many of you know or not, but the internet was broken due to Kim Kardashian exposing her body for the 100,000th time.
Right.
It was too much for the internet to handle. Have you guys seen? They've done a little spoof of that with a droid with C-3PO.
No.
With a booty on him.
That's funny.
Yeah. But seriously though, what did break the internet is Star Wars dropped their first trailer for Episode 7, and people are pretty excited about it. Any thoughts, you guys? You got anything, Lawrence? You enjoy it?
I'm excited about it, but that's the point of a trailer, like I was pretty excited about Episode 1, 2, and 3, so...
I want to see how that turned out.
They did their job. I'm excited about the movie, so...
I'm more excited about... Well, it's technically a teaser. It's only a minute and a half long.
88 seconds.
I think that's plenty for me. I don't really want to see anymore.
No, you're done? Or you mean that's all you want to see until you watch it in theaters?
Until I see it in theaters.
Okay.
I don't want to see... I don't be spoiled anymore.
See, I used to be like an Anthony, I would read everything I could about movies coming out and stuff, and I knew all the spoilers and crap before I even watched it, and I've learned as years pass that I like movies a lot more the less I know about them.
Yeah.
Especially like comedies, because seriously, what was it I watched recently? That all of the funny part... A Million Ways to Die in the West. Like, every single funny part of that movie was in the trailers. And the rest was just filler.
Okay, well, just off the subject of Star Wars. The Pitch Perfect 2 trailer dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Did you guys see the Pitch Perfect trailer?
I didn't watch it.
Of course I did.
Oh, man, I loved it. Now I'm done. I don't want to see anything else until I see Pitch Perfect 2.
Right.
So, I totally agree with comedies, because they do. They ruin all the jokes in the trailer. I kind of wanted to know why they were making a sequel. Now I got that from the trailer. I'm good to go.
Yep.
What I got from the Star Wars one is, the look of it.
Right.
I loved the look of it. It looks old, but good.
Yeah.
It looks like a vast improvement over the original trilogy, but still the same look.
Exactly. Yep.
Whereas...
actually being somewhere, they were actually shooting in the desert.
Not just CGI, the entire movie.
Whereas, the prequels look like Once Upon a Time. Now it looks now, But I think, watching more Once Upon a Time, I think it's kind of on purpose.
You think?
Because it's kind of fairy tale-ish.
Okay.
So if they're in some magical kingdom, it looks a little cartoony, kind of almost.
Yeah, I think it's supposed
to. But I
to.
think that was high-tech at the time when they made especially Episode 1.
Right, yeah.
And watching it now, it looks like garbage.
Right.
And they should have used more practical effects.
I agree. More sets.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about Star Wars, but we're going to talk about Star Wars as a whole. Everything that we love or hate about Star Wars. We've never done this. We've talked about movies that we love before, TV shows that we love before, but we left Star Wars and several other ones out. But we didn't explain that we left them out on purpose, because we kind of figure everybody likes Star Wars. So we didn't mention it. But today, this is all for Episode 7, all Star Wars tribute. So, may the Force be with you.
And also with you.
And with you, and with you, and with you. I'm going to say first off, the prequel trilogy, I did not hate.
I don't hate them. I hate the acting in them.
There are things to hate.
They're interesting story. The story's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just soured by the acting for the most part.
Yes, they overdid it with CGI, but, I like Coruscant. I like how it looks.
Yeah.
I liked Naboo. especially when they weren't in the city, when, Anakin and Padawan were out. Where were they? By the lake.
Padme,
What'd I say?
Padawan.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Anakin the Padawan.
He's
That's what
never
I meant to
actually
say.
seen him. He's
Star Wars,
speculation.
and Spock comes, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's the old Spock too.
There's the old
and it gets
Spock.
really confusing.
It does, for some people.
Then it's like the opposite of the old movies because it's the other guy in the chamber. And
Yeah, it's terrible.
it's weird.
Anyway, when Anakin or Padme are out by the lake,
The acting's terrible.
the acting is terrible. Their love story is odd to watch on film. I don't think it's any worse than Superman and Lois Lane and The Man of Steel, how they just all of a sudden kiss. I don't think it's that bad of a love story.
Or The Amazing Spider-Man love story.
Or Final Destination, where they go from just meeting to like being in love. Have you ever
Oh.
that's one of the worst movies. I'm like, what? Why did she just call him honey or something like that? I'm like, when did this love story happen? And it's like all deleted scenes. So you're just supposed to buy that like they love each other now for unexplained reasons.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're getting off track here.
I know.
That's fine.
That's perfectly
That's just
fine.
what I think of when it's like,
It's
and now
fine
we're in
for the show.
love.
Yeah. Like, da-da-da. Oh, but no. And I will even... Okay. I'll give you a little bit of backstory here. When I sat down with my son to watch all 6 movies, we were going through them, and I'm pretty sure I showed him the original trilogy first. Just because you get the Darth Vader surprise and all that. This has been, I don't know, a couple years ago. He was 6 or 7 at the time. We watch episode 1. Jar Jar Binks shows up. And he laughs hysterically
Oh, I know.
at everything Jar Jar does. Like, to the point that I'm worried that Jar Jar is his favorite character. At the end, I ask him, I'm like, who's your favorite character in that movie? And he's like, Obi-Wan. And I said, whew, but now I get the point of Jar Jar. Like, I get it. Like, it reached kids. And I know Star Wars fans hate him.
Right.
But
I understand the purpose of him. I just don't like him.
they used him too much.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate Jar Jar for that little bit.
Right.
But to have him so much and to be in the Clone Wars cartoon so much is annoying. Of course, I'm just on the first season of that. Does he stick around for the whole? Is he?
He's not in it hardly at all.
Okay. Well, he was in, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes in the first season, just screwing stuff up. I was not digging it.
Yeah,
But-
one episode later, he's like featured, but for the most part, he's not in it at all.
Okay.
But like, I think I would have liked episode 1 a lot more if there would have been no Gungan storyline whatsoever. Like, I liked it a lot, except for the Gungan stuff, you know?
So Jar Jar 2 removed Jar Jar.
You remove Jar Jar, and I would have liked the movie a lot better. I get that they needed something to bring in kids, you know, because like they don't
Much
have...
like the Ewoks.
Right, exactly. From Return of the Jedi. Just something for the children to like.
Right.
Well, part of I've listened to the Darth Plagueis book, and part of that plan part of that was that they underestimated the Naboo because they didn't think that they were going to be joined by them.
Right.
So the 2 armies together overpowered the Trade Federation,
Right.
which in the grand scheme they weren't planning on.
I know. I mean, I
So,
get it. I
yeah.
just don't like it. I don't like them. I don't like the race. I don't like
Yeah.
Jar Jar as much as he is in the movie.
Right.
If it would have been like he saved him, you know, he hung around for a few minutes to make the kids laugh, that would have been fine. Or like as much as he was in episode 2, you know. I mean, he messes up everything. I mean,
Yeah.
like, he is the guy that causes most of the problems, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty
just
bad.
stupid. So, like, kids love him, adults hate him because he's just a constant
Misfit.
nuisance.
Now, what you were talking about, though, there was a book. That's now considered Star Wars Legends, correct?
I don't know what's.
It's
It's fairly recent.
Right.
It was after the prequels.
but they're calling it. I think they've classified it as all of the expanded universe as now Star Wars Legends and not
Canon.
right.
Yeah. But there are rumors that book is that Darth Plagueis is going to be the Awakening.
Oh, you think?
That's one of the rumors I've read.
Yeah, there's been rumors galore. People are mad. People are mad about losing their expanded universe. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't either.
Do you have any feelings on it?
I understand it.
I've heard Clone Wars will be accepted. Will it or not?
Well, it's the legit Lucas thing. I assume it will be.
And it doesn't really matter because it's in between episodes 2 and 3,
Right.
so it doesn't really affect things going forward other than Ahsoka.
Right.
Right.
If she could appear at some point, she's the only thing that really matters. Everything else played out already, so.
See, my thing is I'm a comic book fan, and comic books run continually for 75 years or more, and
Every 2 or 3
they have to reboot things, they have to scrap things. So I've gotten used to it. The fact that they're doing this to Star Wars is no surprise to me.
Right.
I always just considered what I've seen on film to be
Well,
the
it's
canon
all-
of
it's-
Star Wars anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been expanded universe, and
Right.
so it's not like it's. No one ever said, "Okay, this is canon now."
But you see, there are people that are in love with Boba Fett because of all of these other stories.
right, and that's fine. They can love him for that, but that's not.
But if you watch
that's
him
not
on
movie
film-
stuff.
He's barely in it.
Right.
He's Jar Jar. His jetpack gets hit, and he goes in the Sarlacc pit. I mean, that's what that's his contribution to the Star Wars trilogy. That's the way I see it. I mean, I don't hate Boba Fett, but I don't get people who are just in love with him
Right.
because of his screen time.
You watch Parks and Rec? Did you see the Patton Oswalt filibuster
Oh,
episode where he
Where he comes
opens up and Boba Fett comes out of the Sarlacc? Yeah.
Yeah, and if they would have done that, I would have loved it. I cheered Jango Fett. I thought he was cool, but he gets his head lopped off.
So, okay, well, let's go straight from Jango Fett to the new trailer. Trailer opens up on a black stormtrooper.
Okay.
So the stormtroopers are no longer clones now? Or, I mean, the stormtroopers are no longer clones episode 4. That's,
I think that's
I'm not
what
sure.
I've heard.
Okay.
I think it was never. Because they have distinct names. You had Clone Trooper, you had Stormtrooper.
Okay.
I think that...
So,
The clones expired. Or
I haven't
they
seen
got rid of them.
Rebels. Is there a clone or a Stormtrooper on Rebels? Or no?
No, they're more stormtrooperish. They're not. They don't have the same voices or anything.
Okay. But that's
That's what I
all of the
wondered. I
Stormtrooper
just-
involvement, though,
Yeah.
right? Is with the ships, or...
No, they're on the ground, and they're.
Okay.
They're the army for the Empire.
Okay. But...
We're close
each-
to, or after. We're close to episode 4 in this, I think, though. I mean,
Right.
time wise.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I wondered. I didn't know, if they were through the original trilogy, if they were supposed to still be clones. Retroactively supposed to still be clones, or,
Well, see, the reason
what?
why I never thought they were is Lucas went through the trouble of redubbing Boba Fett's voice,
Right.
and he didn't theirs. So that, to me, said, okay, these are separate.
Right.
There's something else.
They're just regular
Soldiers who
Yeah.
enlisted.
Right.
And that's believable because this wasn't some kind of hostile takeover.
Right.
I mean, if you watch the prequel trilogy, it was voted on. The people approved this.
Right.
So people absolutely would have signed up for this military.
Right.
So that's the way I feel about it.
army. Or they would have been forced to. I mean,
Right.
some of the Outer Rim people could have been made to do it, or
Well, yeah.
it could have been a mixture or whatever.
Right.
Because how long is it between 3 and 4 time wise?
I don't know.
18 years? or
Yeah,
something
I would
like
guess
that,
16 to
Like,
18 years
Oh,
because of
Because
Luke.
Luke was 18
supposed
at
to
the
be a
beginning
kid.
of episode 4,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Let me tell you, the beauty of Star Wars, though, and this is the thing I love about Star Wars and several other sci-fi franchises, is how expanded it is and how you can go anywhere with it. Part of that is thanks to Mark Hamill having an accident, which that's not a good thing for him, but it was a great thing for Star Wars because Mark Hamill was in a car wreck. Many people know this. That got Lucas worried about his film.
right.
So that's why we got the line in The Empire Strikes Back of "No, there is another."
Mm-hmm.
Was because Lucas wanted to set it up to keep it going should something happen to one of his main characters. If something happened to Harrison Ford, he was ready to go with Lando to replace him. And I think that was brilliant, not making this about one person or one actor. And I mean, it's fantastic that we have the original cast coming back,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, this is going to grow to be something else. And I like that.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just excited to see the storyline of the new one, obviously there's a Sith Lord with a freaking saber, not a lightsaber, a bastard
claymore?
sword, a claymore. A light Claymore.
Like Claymore. You see, that's the thing. Is people are hating on it. There's a few people that hate on it. I see a lot more support for it, or I have at the sites that I've been checking. Then you might get a few people that are negative, but then people will pile on and be like, "Oh, it's something new. Give it a chance." Yada yada yada. Not a lot of people talk about the fact that it doesn't look solid to me, like the past lightsabers. Like it almost looks like flame.
Well, the hilt, it is flame. It looks like, but the blade itself was solid, wasn't it?
No, I thought the blade also
the blade was
looked kind
flamish.
of.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I've only watched it
Has
twice, and once was 10 minutes ago. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
See, I've probably seen it at least 6 times.
Oh, okay.
Honestly.
Well, I wasn't even planning on watching it a second time until we decided to talk about it. So then I'm like, oh crap, better watch that again. But that's how against reading about stuff. Like I looked at the cast picture, but that's the only thing that I've read about it so far. Was I looked at the cast picture and I watched the trailer now.
I hate that the trailer was so early.
Oh yeah, more than a year in advance.
This teaser should have been at
But it's a teaser,
Avengers. This
Right.
teaser should have been at Avengers.
Well, they're gonna have a real trailer
Probably at Avengers.
Typically, they wait 6 months. 6 months a good window for them to start showing the first trailer.
That doesn't count teasers, though. And it doesn't count teasers on large movies, like... I don't remember. I'm trying to think of other examples where the teaser was released way early, like... I don't know. But it does happen. Like, if it's like a big movie, like maybe Terminator or something,
Spider-Man, the first one with the Twin Towers thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really early.
That was before September of a May movie. Or it was in August for the next May movie.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, nowadays it's usually 6-7 months. I mean, for a full trailer. People are freaking out wanting to see the Superman Batman trailer.
I know.
Just like,
it's forever away.
I know, it is so far away.
I know.
They shouldn't have released any footage at Comic-Con, is the thing.
Right.
That
just got
probably won't have
hungry
anything to do
for
with the
more.
movie, though, so...
Who knows?
Which I still haven't seen.
You're not missing anything.
I don't mind. I'll wait.
Will ya?
Yeah.
Just watch the how it should have been version of it.
It's pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, except you can see it, and it's not on a cell phone in a dark...
Right.
Up on the ceiling, guy shaking. So have you been watching Rebels?
Yes.
And how many episodes have they had now?
I can tell you, I think it's 6, but...
What channel's it on?
Disney XD.
Okay.
How do you feel about the story? Like, do you think it's going somewhere?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's...
Now, I've heard that stuff will tie in to the new film.
so far, it's been kind of on its own.
So when does it take place?
It's
In between 3 and 4.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So why is it going to be in the new film then?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
That's
it's
just rumors that I
a
heard.
Jedi, a surviving Jedi,
Yeah.
and he's kind of with a smuggler, basically. And they find this kid is force sensitive.
So maybe that kid will be in the next Star Wars film.
Okay.
But he'll be, he'll be...
Well, right, but he can
Yeah.
train him.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the spin-off films? For anyone who doesn't know, Star Wars has announced that they're going to do a Star Wars film and then a film about a single character set in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on something like this? There have been rumors of a Boba Fett movie, a Yoda movie, a Mace Windu movie, a young Han Solo movie. I do not want them to do a young Han Solo movie. I don't.
Why?
Because Harrison Ford was the young Han Solo, in my opinion. I don't think that you need to recast him or Luke just to do
Right.
earlier adventures.
Yeah.
I think that would be wrong. I don't think a Mace Windu movie would be good. I think it could be good if he survived being thrown out the window. Like, I don't think Sam Jackson's getting up there. I don't think that he can be
Younger than he was in episode 3. Yeah, I agree. If they do a Mace Windu movie, I think they should do it without Sam Jackson. If they do any of the earlier movies, they should do them without the original actors, in my opinion. Because, especially like Mace Windu, I mean, he was like 50 or something, I mean, he could look totally different at 20, and they're not going to tell a present day, I mean, air quotes for those who can't see, present day Mace Windu, like, after the being thrown out the window, because, like, I don't know, I don't think that would be that good, but like, or like a when he's on the Jedi Council, like how exciting of a movie could that be?
Right.
You know, like I
Yeah.
want a young
Because
Mace
before-
Windu coming of age story.
Well, before episode 1, I mean, if we're just going with the movies, if that's the continuity we're dealing with, there's not a lot of Sith activity, right? I mean, it was kind of a surprise to them, Darth Maul was.
Right.
I mean, they were aware of the Sith.
And that's another problem I have.
So
with the
there's no
prequel
bad
movies, Is like lightsabers were so much cooler before like Darth Vader came along. You know, like why didn't Darth Vader have a cool lightsaber? You know,
My thing with that is the fight choreography is so much better in the prequels.
right?
And now you're like, oh,
Well-
Vader can't take out Luke.
Well, the
Right.
guy having the cool lightsaber, in the Darth Plagueis book, he didn't like that lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
He thought that was kind of animalistic or not.
Which
proper.
one? The double-bladed
The
one?
devil, he thought that was kind of
Okay.
savage.
yeah.
It wasn't proper form. It was
Right.
bad form, basically.
Right.
It was for a more civilized age.
Yeah.
Not as random or as clumsy as a blaster. Yeah.
He didn't like Darth Plagueis didn't like the double thing.
Yeah.
What about the Star Wars Phineas and Ferb? Where they've got like 10 blades on their lightsabers.
Did not. Is that a thing that's already happened?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Not even on my radar.
Oh, you should watch it. It's funny. I seriously would recommend the Star Wars Phineas and Ferb to any Star Wars fan.
Huh.
Because it's like Star Wars Episode 4A, I believe is what it's called. And it basically takes place in the in-between shots of what was going on in A New Hope.
Oh yeah.
So,
Except for Phineas and Ferb were there.
right. Because they were on Tatooine or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing in their show? Do they travel to different planets and stuff?
Oh,
I've never
yeah.
seen Phineas
Oh,
and
you need
Ferb.
to watch Phineas and Ferb. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Clark loves it, but I've never watched it.
It's good. But it's just that they're two characters that were born on Tatooine is the way it's set up.
Okay.
Okay, for example, when R2 and C-3PO launch from the ship in the beginning of the movie to go down to Tatooine, and they're like, oh, there's no life signs. Let's not shoot it down. Well, then those guys are like, let's go get a coffee. And they leave, and then Perry the Platypus is able to go down to the planet in a shuttle unnoticed
Mm-hmm.
because there's no one checking for life forms on the next escape pod.
Right.
Because the other guys went to get a coffee. I mean, it's that kind of a movie.
Maybe I have to watch it with Clark.
You need to
Might
watch
be
it.
my way into Star Wars for him. Get him to watch them finally. I've tried to get him to watch them before, but he wouldn't do it. But that's what Zach lived with me. You know, like me and Zach watched them all together, and Clark wouldn't watch any of them with us.
Oh. Connor watches the Clone Wars with me now.
But, okay. So other than the fact that they forgot how to make cool lightsabers, their fighting has gotten way, way worse.
Right.
It looks a lot crappier. The future looks much more bleak than the past.
Okay, but
Well, they all did, though.
Right.
Luke learned how to be a Jedi way later. And
Right.
Obi-Wan was really old.
Vader still should have been able to kick his butt.
True, I guess. Yeah, but he is on, 2 fake arms, 2 fake legs,
Right.
and a ventilator.
Yep.
Are you
on.
kidding? We just watched Darth Vader beat Batman.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but with the Force, not with a lightsaber, really.
okay, fair enough.
But Starkiller, he's pretty good with the lightsaber. He's a good fighter. Of course, that's expanded universe, too.
Right.
That's Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Star Killer.
Yeah, I'm sad that we don't get Vader's secret apprentice. So that was Sam Witwer?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Nope. Aiden.
It's my favorite live-action Doomsday ever.
Right.
Maybe my only. Anyway.
There's a guy in the Rebels that uses a lightsaber, and he calls Darth Vader's master. So I don't know if he's an apprentice somehow, or
Oh, really?
the Inquisitor, or whatever.
Always two there are.
Yeah, they kind of throw that rule out
Right.
pretty quick. I mean, they said that in episode 1, but then there's clearly Palpatine,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's got Dooku,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you watch the Clone Wars, Dooku has Ventress.
Yeah, of interest.
So,
Well, there was Plagueis, Palpatine, and Darth Maul at the same time,
and
but they were calling Darth Maul an assassin and not a Sith. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And Plagueis knew about him and everything too. But Plagueis, if you're in that book, I don't know how close they're putting that to the movies, but he threw out the rule of two himself.
Oh, really?
He wanted to be equals with Plagueis.
Hmm.
Or with Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I meant to watch episode 1 after reading that book because he's alive. Plagueis is alive into that movie, toward the end of the movie, all the way through that movie.
But you just couldn't bring yourself to watch it? Is that
Yeah.
No,
I want to see if they just threw him in there or if he was, like, whoever wrote that book picked somebody out and made him look like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or because he at one point he's on one of the ships with Senator Palpatine, one of the little floating ships in the Senate. At one point during a meeting, he's on there with him. In the book, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if it's actually...
You have to go back and look and see.
Yeah.
See if you can see anybody that looks like him.
He tries to get a hold of Anakin at one point in the book. He goes to the apartment where he's staying at, and he's already at the Jedi Council or something.
Oh, when he's little?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake Lloyd?
Yeah.
No. Prequels gave us Darth Maul, and I am thankful for that, because I thought Darth Maul was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
He wasn't awesome? No.
He got killed by a Padawan.
Huh?
He got killed by a Padawan.
Yeah, and like, and the stupidest death in any Star Wars movie, possibly. Like, he jumped over his head and then got behind him and sliced him in half. Like, he had his lightsaber. He was chopping the ground with his lightsaber rather than just like force shoving him down that tube, and just watched him go over his head. And then cut him in half. It was absolutely ridiculous.
But thankfully, in the expanded universe, they bring Darth Maul back like 3 times, I think.
And plus, right.
He's on the Clone Wars.
And plus, like, the fact that in the episode 1 opens with them getting on the Trade Federation ship, right?
Yeah.
And then the droidicas or whatever come after them. And how do they escape the droidicas? They do that freaking fast run zoom thing off to the side, remember?
What were those? Were those destroyer droids?
Destroyers, the ones with shields, little round ones.
Yeah.
So they run away real quick, right? Yet later on, whenever there's these shields in between them, they have to run at normal speed, and they can't possibly get to the next shield, you know? Like,
okay. There's definitely some inconsistencies, especially with any sci-fi property. But I thought Darth Maul was cool. The thing that bugged me watching episode 1 is the Jedi talk about all this honor and all this stuff. And then 2 Jedi fight 1 Sith. And that just always bugged me. It's like, well, we have to be so honorable, but let's get him at the same time.
we got 2 blades.
It's got 2 blades.
Well,
They didn't even know that when they started, did they?
Well, they're
Right,
smarter
no.
than bad guys. How many shows?
Where the bad guys go one at a
There's
time.
20 bad guys and they attack the good guy one at a time.
Right.
Which, it just bugged me that they went on about the honor of the Jedi, and then they're going 2 on 1.
That's honorable.
I guess. But they had Liam Neeson, and that's awesome.
Right.
That's one awesome thing from the prequels. There was Liam Neeson. I'd still say Darth Maul. Grievous is only awesome in the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, he kind of sucked in the movies. I was kind of let down by Grievous in the movies.
Especially since I watched the 2D Clone Wars cartoon that Cartoon Network used to run before they did this newer one. And he was awesome in that. He never talked, though, but he was awesome on that. I don't understand how the character could have been that good in was it 5 or 10 minutes?
They were
shorts.
5-minute
They were
episodes.
5-minute episodes. And then he gets screen time on the big screen, and he's terrible.
Yeah.
They're releasing the seasons on DVD and they're like an hour long.
Oh, yeah.
For the whole season.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can you still buy those? I need to get those, because I enjoyed them.
somewhere. I've got them. I'm sure they're on Amazon or eBay somewhere.
And that's the weird thing, is like those end right before they
Stream
end.
starts?
Yeah, the ending of that show is the exact same opening as episode 3.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
It's the exact same. And then they've got more Clone Wars later. So that bugged me.
So I just kind of threw it out with the new
Threw
one.
it out, yeah. Because it was
sad.
I guess I didn't even realize there were 2 different ones.
It was on Friday night for 5 minutes. Like, it's a 5-minute shorts before another show.
Okay. But you don't remember what the other
I
show
don't
was?
remember what it was. Just some random Cartoon Network show, I think.
I remember watching them. And like Anakin becomes a Jedi Knight in that story. Like it shows that. It shows like, I don't know, his bar mitzvah. What is it for Jedi? Where they cut his little ponytail off. I mean, it was pretty good for like I say, being a very short
Right.
cartoon.
Yeah, because
There's only 2 seasons of it.
The Clone Wars cartoon, the CGI one, starts with him already having Padawan and everything.
Right, because it starts after the Clone Wars movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they did the Clone Wars, the CGI movie, I thought that's what it was going to be. I thought it was going to expand the 2D cartoon and just retell all of that, And so I was a little disappointed with that. And with, what was his name? Zero the Hutt? Is that his name?
There's Zero, yeah.
Jabba's brother.
Yeah.
Did you like that storyline? What did he do? He kidnapped Jabba's son or something?
I didn't know
Or did he kidnap...
Jabba's son.
Yeah, it was... Okay. Huh?
This is all from the cartoon?
No, there was an animated movie, like, after episode 3.
Oh, what was it called?
The Clone Wars.
Oh.
That's just what they call everything.
Apparently.
There's... If it ain't Star Wars, it's the Clone Wars.
Right.
Episode 7, they were considering calling it the Clone Wars, I think, and they thought they'd kind of ran that into the ground. So.
They have, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a Warner Brothers released movie. It was in theaters.
Did they get any of the same people to do voices, or no?
Oh, from the anime one to the CGI one?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
It was weird. I guess it is good to clean some of it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that killed Ventress, too.
The 2D one, though.
2D one killed Ventress, and they left
Right.
her alive at the end of the animated one. Or
Right.
the CGI one.
Right.
Of course, they were planning on, 2 more seasons, but
Oh, really?
yeah. Well, season 6 was shortened, and they finished it up for Netflix.
And then Ahsoka's alive, too, right?
Yeah, she was left alive. She left the Jedi Order
Oh, okay.
at the end of season 5. And she made she was only in 6 in a vision. She wasn't in it at all.
Okay. Just because she's a big deal on that show.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just wondered, since I haven't seen it all yet, what they do, why she's not in episode 3. That's the bad thing about prequels, is like, when you start plugging in extra stuff, you don't really have a way to fit it back into what's already been established.
Right.
So I'm glad that we're definitely going forward with Star Wars Episode 7. It's going to be something new. Were any of you disappointed that you didn't get to see Luke in this?
No.
Or Han? You got to see the Millennium Falcon.
That's a teaser.
enough.
And yeah, you gotta see the Falcon.
If you believe the rumors, one of the rumors is that Luke won't be on Harley at all anyway.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I think that one thing that this teaser did for me is confirm some of the rumors.
Like,
but maybe not.
like what rumors?
That's-
See, like I haven't even. I've seriously been radio silence on everything.
Well, I heard a rumor, like, for instance, that there would be a stormtrooper that's a good guy in this film. So I think, it
That
kind of
guy
looks
might
that
be.
way. That he will be on the good guy side of things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, depending how long it is, time-wise, there's a lot to clean up after the end of episode 6.
That's what I want to know is how long after episode 6 does episode 7 take place?
It's gotta be at least 30
is
years.
there a chance that Palpatine could still be alive?
Well,
Because he's conquered death, and all we saw was he got thrown down a tube. Like, how many times have people got thrown down tubes and lived in
and
Star
we got
Wars?
clones and all that too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he
Right, but he supposedly conquered death. Wasn't
Yeah.
that like the big thing?
he learned what Plagueis couldn't do because he tells that to him. It's like
Yeah.
he learned how to master it, but he couldn't do it for himself. But he taught me everything he knew, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he could theoretically be alive.
I would
That's
say
what-
it's
that's
still
how-
about 30 years. The thing I'm confused of is
Well, if you count the two top 2 guys in the Empire, which are the Sith, all at one time.
right. You still have stormtroopers. The Empire
Well,
still
and you have
exists.
lots of colonels and lieutenants and who are all those military people, and there's probably some kind of hierarchy, for being in command.
Right.
That I'm sure that it wasn't.
The Senate still existed, though, right?
He disbanded them. at
Did he
some
disband
point.
the whole
Yeah,
Senate?
that's why he's just became emperor.
Well, he took over. He became that in 3. He became
Right.
emperor, but then at the beginning of 4, it says he disbanded, or the Senate won't stand for this, and he disbanded the Senate. Or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So
But anyway, okay, there's the stormtrooper. There's also I don't know what to tell you because you don't want to know anything.
I don't mind. I mean, seriously, talk about whatever you want.
Well, they're rumors. That's fine, I guess.
right.
That he and this girl will find Luke's lightsaber.
Okay.
And that the planet they're on is not Tatooine. That it's another desert planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they find Luke's lightsaber in Luke's hand. Because he's got a robot hand.
Mm-hmm.
And they go find
So
Han
like
Solo.
So like the one that got sliced off in Episode 5 is what you're saying is the hand they find?
No. It will have happened again.
Oh.
So
So they're going to find a robot hand with the
they're going to find a robot hand with a lightsaber. And then they're going to go to try to find Luke. Because of this.
Because it says
awakening.
property of Luke Skywalker on
Exactly.
it, I assume.
I would assume.
And they probably hook the hand up to a computer and it tells them it's got a serial number in it, you know.
If found, please contact.
Like a tracking chip, like
Yeah.
dogs.
Like bones.
So I'm going to call it right now. Episode 7 ends on Emperor Palpatine.
You think?
That's my bet.
Okay, here's something to think about. The rumor is that Han will be the major character in this movie from the old cast, and they will be trying to get to Luke, and Luke will show up towards the end. And then going forward, Luke will be in 8.
Mm-hmm.
Be a big deal. That's the rumor.
He'll be the Obi-Wan.
Yes. But I think years ago, Harrison Ford said that he would never play Han Solo again unless they kill him off.
Or if they throw buckets of money at him. You know what? Buying diamond stud earrings gets expensive.
That's true.
Well, at least his girlfriend doesn't eat a lot.
Yeah. But you still gotta do some movies once in a while.
Okay, so maybe the buckets of money, maybe because Indiana Jones didn't do so hot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so maybe we won't have Han Solo going forward after Episode 7.
Yeah.
You think J.J. Abrams will do more than one? Or they'll
No.
do a movie, different director for each one?
I bet J.J. Abrams does 3.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You think he'll do 7, 8, 9 himself?
No, he's not going to do 8 and 9. They've already signed somebody else to do 8 and 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the same guy's doing 8 and 9, which is really disappointing to me. Like, I'd heard that Abrams didn't want to do 7 at all. So maybe it's on him, but I don't understand why they didn't give him the chance to do 8 and 9. Maybe he doesn't want to do them. Because the behind-the-scenes stuff that I've seen where he wants to use practical effects. You know, I read somewhere that they got the top guy for practical effects and puppetry to come in and the top CGI guy. You know, and that they wanted to do the best of both worlds with this film, and that kind of has me excited.
Is Frank Oz still alive?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I just wondered. I'd like to see someone from Yoda's race show up, other than like Yaddle, you know, like
Right?
show up in a movie and actually have a part.
You know, one of the rumors that I heard, which I hope this one is less true, is that Yoda will be the Obi-Wan character in this film,
Oh, really?
and that it'll, you know,
It's just going to be
he'll
Ghost.
show up as a ghost. Because clearly they can't have Alec Guinness come back, you know.
Right.
But it'll be Yoda talking to Luke. But I
Liam Neeson, though.
they could get Liam Neeson.
I would like that,
Or
honestly.
They could get Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
Okay, one more thing.
I'd rather have J.J. Abrams be at the theater and just spit in my face.
Yep. Pay $7 for your ticket. There you go.
Enjoy the show.
No show. Just he spits in your face and you leave.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's better. No, because Hayden Christensen's in the movie. So instead of that, I'd rather be spit in my face and
okay.
turn back around.
You can either buy a ticket to go watch Star Wars,
Movie,
or you can
spit
pay
in
the
the face.
same amount of money, and J.J. Abrams will spit in your face.
So I told you though that when I watched this with my son, I watched the original ones 1st, and so it's the Blu-ray version. So it's the George Lucas has pimped this thing out version of Star Wars, and we get to the end, and Hayden Christensen shows up, and my son looks at me and goes, "Dad, who is that?" I was like, "We'll get to that later, son."
Yeah, that's stupid. That's one thing that I just hate. Stop it, George Lucas. Stop. I mean, he can't anymore, thankfully.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, Disney's gonna ruin Star Wars." What did
Like,
George Lucas
what?
do?
What do you mean? We had a good Star Wars. It got ruined twice.
Love or hate the prequels, he screwed up the originals.
Twice.
Han shot first. Which, you gotta look online, there's a trailer, the
Frank
George
Oz is
Lucas.
still alive.
Cool.
the George Lucas special edition of the Episode 7 trailer. They throw in more dewbacks, they throw in more TIE Fighters, and they throw in Hayden Christensen. You gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
There's an edited version of the prequels that combines all three of them into an hour and a half long.
I think I
That's
heard
cool.
of that.
I'd
It's
watch that.
by Topher Grace.
Yeah, really?
He did it.
I like
supposedly.
Topher Grace.
So we found out Frank Oz is alive, and that's fantastic to know. We should have really known that. It has it said anything about him being in Episode 7, though?
That
I know it said Warwick Davis as an unknown role.
It would be a short person, probably.
Or
A short
droid.
creature.
Droid. And then we got Anthony Daniels and Kenny Baker
Kenny Baker.
is back. No Lando, though. Why no Lando? I don't understand.
They've already got a black stormtrooper. You can't have too many.
You can't have too many black men in a
Yeah, it's
sci-fi franchise. I understand that.
you
Well,
forget
it's a shame.
how racist.
When we
Star
saw him in
Wars still is.
2005 at Star Wars Celebration 3, he could barely walk.
He was looking pretty rough, honestly. I heard that David Prowse is looking just terrible too.
Yeah, he recently announced he's got some health issues.
Yeah. And what's his name? Chewbacca. What's his name?
Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew. Yeah, like he was just in Evansville
He's
a few
coming
weeks
back.
ago, and they said that he wasn't looking very well. Also,
Yeah, but they're going to slap fur on him, so he'll be fine.
right? Yeah, it doesn't matter how he looks on the inside as long as if he can walk around for a movie.
Right, and he's supposed to be
that's all that
older.
matters.
You know, I mean,
Maybe sitting down.
Why's Chewbacca got a cane now?
why is Chewbacca pulling that oxygen tank?
He'll just be on one of those chairs from Wall-E. Just driving around.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, Star Wars is fantastic. We love Star Wars. Any Star Wars thoughts? Emperor's coming back. Anything else?
I think it can't be worse than the prequel, so...
There's no way.
No, I don't think J.J. Abrams will let that happen.
The funny thing for me is I have to take, in my opinion, the guy who ruined Star Trek and put my faith in him to save Star Wars. You know?
I like the Star Trek movies.
Star Trek movies are Star Wars, but it just... I would have been much happier with Abrams' Star Trek if he would have went forward instead of resetting the timeline. Like if they would have given him a new Enterprise and maybe pulled a few actors from the TV show and then put in a new young cast and then go for it. Because there's no way they're getting 10
Like
films
after
on
the, after
Chris
Next
Pine.
Generation.
Yeah, after Next Generation. Like, after Next Generation, after Voyager. Like, you could have got... I can't think of the actor's name. Chakotay from Voyager. You could have got him on there. You could have got...
Will Wheaton. What was he on?
Will Wheaton. He was on Next Generation.
Yeah. I don't like him.
Yeah. He
I like
leaves,
Tabletop
though.
a lot.
He's
I've never watched Star
a
Trek.
traveler or something like that in Next Gen. Who else? Anyway, they could have got a bunch of Worf. Reading Rainbow, they could have got him.
I love Reading Rainbow. He's a good actor.
Reading Rainbow is a fantastic actor. Why can't I think of LeVar Burton? I don't know.
That's why.
I just can't think of his name. He was fantastic on Community. I loved him on that.
I just wanted a picture of LeVar Burton. I didn't want to meet LeVar Burton.
Oh. Anyway.
I like that he did that, though, that he reset it.
Yeah, I like
You do?
Yeah.
I love the movies. I thought they were... I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I've never seen a Star Trek TV show or movie other than Generations. And I like the new movies a lot.
I like him because, I mean, that's
But I like them because they're Star Wars.
That's
You know?
kind of
They're
like
Star Wars. And they've even got R2-D2 in them. You gotta really pay attention, but he's in there.
Well, Kirk's was kind of balls out at points, you know, and when they finally started making movies with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, they were too old to be
Right.
that way.
Right.
Right.
They were
I
not
like
nearly as fun.
Yeah, I think they're great. No complaints from me.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't like that everything's reset. I mean,
I
it's
think
good that they did it so you can the Trek fans can say, okay, we've still got these episodes. You know, they still happened,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I thought that the reversing Kirk and Spock and the radiation thing was kind of cheesy for episode 2 for the second one, but
Right.
See, I'd never seen the other one, so it kind of made me want to watch it. You know,
Yeah.
like watch Wrath
Right.
of Khan.
yeah.
So,
Have you watched it?
I started it.
You just can't do it because of Star Trek, and
It's not. I don't know. I don't like Star Trek that much. Other than these new movies, I like them.
My favorite Star Trek is hands down Deep Space Nine.
I like
Is that the one with Sam Beckett in it?
No, that's
Oh,
Enterprise.
okay.
Yeah,
I love
Enterprise
Sam
is cool too.
I love Quantum Leap. Sorry, I forgot that I'm supposed to refer to people by their TV shows.
Exactly.
Not their character names.
you can call them by their character names, not their actual names. Never call them by their actual names.
Scott Bakula. I'm not allowed to say that.
No,
You call him by something,
you can call him Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
by some name from some off the wall show they did.
Men of a certain age.
Yeah.
Enterprise.
I love that show, by the way. Sorry. We're totally off topic now.
That's fine.
That's kind of the point.
Star Trek Enterprise, though, you talk about it, it's the first time they tried to make Star Trek cool. Like, they got a little more edgier, you got to see some butt crack every now and then on that show.
That's when NYPD Blue must have been big.
No, it was after NYPD Blue, I think.
There was a scene where they showed T'Pol's, the Vulcan first commander, butt crack.
Yeah.
But then they edited it for the West Coast feed because they got so many complaints.
Oh, that's
Really?
funny.
Yeah, they cropped it just a hair, just so they couldn't.
Huh. That's great.
They tried to make Star Trek a little sexy. It just wasn't as successful as what Abrams
Was that
has
7
done.
of 9? Is that
No, that was in Voyager.
Oh, okay.
That was Jerry Ryan.
Because that was the first, like, sexy Star Trek, air quotes, that I'd heard of, was 7 of 9.
T'Pol was the 7 of 9 character.
Yeah.
They're basically written the same if you watch, because I watched Voyager and Enterprise back to back, so I mean they definitely seemed like the same character. They both started out in gray outfits and then later got colorful outfits. I mean,
Once people
And
like
they
it.
got skimpier and more low cut each season.
right, tighter. It's great. I mean, what? I love Star Trek. You know, I had heard that Voyager would have been done had they not introduced Jerry Ryan's character. That's when the ratings picked up, was because they go 4 seasons before you get to her, and I didn't know that going
Probably
into
when
Voyager.
they got the big show. Or SmackDown was on UPN at the time, and they got a couple. It wasn't those guys. They were on. I think Rock was on Enterprise.
No, The Rock was on Voyager.
Was he on Voyager?
He was with Jerry Ryan in Voyager. The Big Show was on Enterprise.
I think Kane was on some point on Enterprise too. There was
Oh, really?
there was more than one time when they did it because it was on the same. It was on UPN also.
Oh, okay. I wonder why they kept popping up. It's a very young Rock. I mean, it is Rocky Maivia, The Rock.
Yeah.
Probably Nation of Domination days or before, for those wrestling fans out there that know what I'm talking about.
Nobody.
Nobody. Wrestling went down the toilet fast for me once there was no more WCW. Not that I loved WCW, but there was no competition, and it just kind of fizzled after that. I think.
Cosby loves it.
Any thoughts on professional wrestling, Lawrence?
Don't watch it.
Did you watch Slam City?
I watched a couple episodes of Slam City, actually.
I got this first season free on Voodoo.
Oh, yeah? I saw that. I didn't even do it. I saw that it was free. Didn't even... Oh, maybe I did redeem it just because it was free. But
Well, it was
I
like
did do Bob's Burgers, though. I love that show.
There was, recently, Google, they had, you could download Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack for free.
I got that.
And I was like, I'm going to do this. And then they're like, sign up for Google Wallet. And I thought,
I
no.
love Google. Why would you not sign up for Google
I
Wallet?
don't
It is
know.
the coolest thing ever. It's... Well, I guess because you don't believe in technology.
I don't believe in technology.
But, like, I can just transfer money to my Google Wallet. Like, I have a card that I can use in stores.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's free. Costs me nothing.
Yeah.
And I can just transfer money to my Google Wallet card anytime I want. And, yeah,
I see.
I love it. It's convenient.
I don't think I had a card. I think I just my credit card.
We should order a card. And it's free. It's a MasterCard. You know, you can use it anywhere.
I had a PayPal or a I had a PayPal,
PayPal card.
MasterCard.
Yeah.
At one point, I let it expire and even none of that. I use PayPal now all the time. So.
Right. See, I just use Google Wallet
I've got
for everything
PayPal.
now.
So I didn't want another thing.
I just quit using PayPal and only use Google Wallet. I love
Really?
it. Love it, love it, love it. Can't say it enough.
Well, anyway, we've gotten completely off topic. Sci-fi kind of fits in the same realm there.
Google Wallet, Star Wars.
Doctor
Wars.
Who.
It's all future.
J.J. Abrams was part. He's
Right,
tied them together.
Abrams.
So
Yes. Oh, that crossover. Star Trek and Star Wars.
That's
I don't know if the
I
ships
wanna
on
see
Star
Captain
Trek.
Kirk.
I honestly don't know if the ships on Star Trek are as fast as the ships in Star Wars. That's
Right.
my thing.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are. I know
I
that
think
they're
there's
not
some
as
science.
fast as the ships in Stargate.
I love Stargate.
But anyway,
This is our Star Blank episode of
Easily my third
Bill and
favorite series
Star-
of Star Wars. Modern.
Stargate.
what,
Is?
Stargate is your third favorite?
No, I was the comic book guy in the Simpsons.
Oh yeah, right.
When Richard Dean Anderson was on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Stargate a lot.
I
Stargate
do
Atlantis.
too. I love SG-1.
Atlantis. SG-1 was good too.
Atlantis. Yeah, I like both a lot.
But seriously, I think that Stargate follows the same pattern as Star Trek. Because you had Next Generation, SG-1, and then you had Atlantis, which is clearly Deep Space Nine. And then Voyager and Universe are the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're kind of off on their own.
They're off on their own, they're stuck, you know, they are meeting new aliens that the show's never had before.
Yeah.
Very similar. And then occasionally, you get people from Earth on the ship.
Right.
Because that happened on Voyager because of a wormhole here and there. So, it's very similar, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll believe you because I've
Not-
never seen it.
tied up in a nice little bow. And once, Doctor Who in the comics met the Next Generation Enterprise.
Oh yeah.
So now we have all of our sci-fi in one show.
Yep.
Anyway, it's all tied up.
There we go.
All together.
Now just get Reading Rainbow in there somehow, and we're good to go.
Because he was on Star Trek. It works.
Sorry.
It works.
It works.
And you throw Roots in there too. Anyway,
Kente.
that's right. That's going to do it for us.
We love Star Wars.
We love star stuff.
Yes.
You put star in the title, we will watch it.
Starman.
I like Starman. What is kidnapped?
Anyway, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe on YouTube, and we're out.
Love you.
Live long and prosper.
Oh wait, we should have ended it. May the Force. Oh, it's too late.
The Force is never in your favor.
May the Force be ever in your favor. May the Force live long and prosper.
Oh, Hunger Games.
Hunger pangs.
Hunger Pains.
Pangs.
Growing pains.